Hi, this is Mary Jo with Team Hopewell 360. We're so fortunate to be here today with Mark Soliterman of Vision Bank. And I think you'd like to know what part that Vision plays in the whole process of building with Hopewell 360. So Mark, thank you so much for letting us come over. And I'm so curious about the bank and about your role with both the bank and with Hopewell 360. So can you tell us a little bit about your history with the bank and about the bank first?
Sure. So the bank was started, maybe 15, 16 years ago, and I was involved with a much larger bank that seemed to change their direction from helping individuals to just getting bigger. So I departed from that bank as a major shareholder and started Vision Bank. And it was started similar to the name, basically, Vision. We wanted to deal with people who needed assistance and couldn't necessarily get that from the big banks. And so we started at $5 million or so and worked our way up. Right now we're about 220 million.
Wow.
And
you were a rebel bank.
Well, we're actually one of the few banks that have started in the last 15 years. The number of banks, in 2008 were probably 12 or 14,000 banks, and now there's less than 5,000 banks in the country. And
they didn't make it through the recession.
They didn't make it through a lot of things. Recession, mergers, acquisitions. It's pretty difficult to deal with all the red tape and stuff, so you have to know what you're doing. And
so you started your own?
We did, and I'm actually a CPA, so I dealt with the government for 40, 50 years, so dealing with
Lucky
the FDIC
you.
was easy.
Lucky you.
So we still stay pretty focused on commercial, not very much in consumer, and we tried to do a lot of new business loans and people who maybe can't get their financing done elsewhere.
That's an enormous advantage to the Twin Cities. The big banks have hard and cut rules, and either you meet those or you're done.
Yeah, and you don't get to talk to anybody who can give you answers. It's just a yes or no. And again, because of my background, we oftentimes tell people what to do and how to change it so that they can make it work in the banking world and also in their business world. So we're there to assist them along with doing the financing, much like we did with Hopewell.
That is so unusual. Banks don't usually help. So I'm impressed that you're doing that. And can you tell us a little bit about your journey with Hopewell, how you got involved with them and what you're doing?
So one of our clients referred them to us, and was kind of a unique thing that has never been done before, at least by them. And we visited the site and we talked to the people and we looked at their projections and figured out that it was something that was worthwhile financing. Obviously, we're in the business of making money, so we want to make good decisions. But they seemed to know what they were doing, and so we got going, and then we visited the site as it was going up, and it was kind of cool to see these big trucks there and unloading things and the cranes and putting them together. Yeah, I mean, just it was cool to see all that stuff. And then after it was done, I went out and looked at the property again and saw the final finishes, and It was, yeah, it was great to see from
startup.
from a
I was
empty
there.
lot.
I was there for crane day while they're hauling these things over, and one of the truckers said, "Well, why don't you stand right over here?" And I'm literally under the house as they're craning it in. But high-performance homes are so exciting, and they're gaining more and more traction. What do you see for the future, both in building and for Hopewell?
Well, construction costs are very high.
Yeah.
And so I
Long.
think, and the delays are certainly involved. Getting better, but I think produce a home and reduce the cost makes sense, and that's kind of what they're all about. And then with Minnesota in particular, which was an exciting part for us, it's hard to do a stick built in the winter. And
Hard and expensive.
And winter costs are high. So building it and then, assembling it on site makes a lot of sense. And I think more and more people are going to do that to make it efficient and cheaper.
I think the hesitation with a lot of builders, they were thinking it can be done in California. But this kind of building has been done in Canada for a long time, and they're colder than we are. So it's become, it's become a realization, and I'm confident that it'll really take off, and I'm sure you are too.
Yeah, I think it'll certainly help, and with the shortage of affordable housing,
Absolutely,
it might be a perfect fit, and we're there to finance, and I'm pretty sure while we don't do long-term financing for the purchaser, there's a lot of banks out there that don't do construction loans, but they do permanent loans. So some of the big banks send us construction loans, and then we send it back to them to do the permanent after the house is built.
Oh, that's a new prospect.
Yep.
That's
a lot of them do not like to do construction because it's too difficult, too time-consuming, lack of knowledge, all kinds of different things. So they send them our way, and we're happy to do them. And then the people end up getting a nice long-term mortgage, a little higher rate today than a year ago. Yeah.
Right, but in high performance, you have all advantages of, number one, you have no maintenance for 20 years. And number two, when it's high maintenance or it's high performance like that, it's like a sound studio. The living experience is so much different than an older stick-built home.
Yep.
Well, thank you so much for letting us come and visit with you today. I learned a lot and appreciate all the work you're doing.
My pleasure.
Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.